June 10, 1912. Villisca, Iowa, a town so peaceful that residents never locked their doors. But when the sun rose on that Monday morning, a nightmare was waiting inside the Moore family home. Inside, 6 members of one family and 2 overnight guests lay dead, all killed with an axe, all bludgeoned while they slept. No motive, no clear suspect. Over a century later, the case remains unsolved. I'm Onker. Welcome to Night Justice Vault. Today, we unlock the mystery of the Villisca Axe Murders. Villisca was a typical American farming town. Quiet, religious, tight-knit. The Moore family was at the heart of it. Josiah Moore, 43, ran a successful farm implement business. His wife, Sarah, 39, was active in the Presbyterian Church. They had 4 children: Herman, 11, Mary Catherine, 10, Arthur, 7, and Paul, 5. On the night of June 9th, the Moores hosted a children's program at church. Afterward, 2 young sisters, Lena and Ina Stillinger, ages 12 and 8, stayed overnight at the Moore home because their own parents were out of town. The next morning, around 7 a.m., a neighbor, Mary Peckham, noticed that the Moores' blinds were still drawn. She grew concerned. She called another neighbor, who entered the house through an unlocked back door. What he saw would haunt him for life. In the guest room, the Stillinger sisters lay in bed, their heads crushed. In the master bedroom, Josiah and Sarah Moore were dead, their faces covered with clothing. The children, all 4, were in their own beds. Each victim had been struck multiple times with an axe. The weapon, a rusty axe from the Moore's own woodshed, was left in the guest room. Every window and door was still locked from the inside, except the back door, which the killer had apparently used to exit. The investigation began immediately. The county sheriff called in the state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation. But crucial mistakes were made. The crime scene was left unguarded, and hundreds of curiosity seekers trampled through the house, destroying evidence. Suspicion quickly fell on a local man, Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher who had been in Villisca that weekend. He had given a fiery sermon about sin on the same Sunday evening. Witnesses saw him near the Moore house after midnight. He was arrested, but later released due to lack of evidence. Another suspect was Josiah Moore's business rival, who had threatened him. But no direct proof ever surfaced. In 1917, 5 years after the murders, a new suspect emerged: Frank F. Jones, a former state senator and wealthy businessman. Josiah Moore had once worked for Jones, but left to start his own business. Some believed Jones had hired a hitman to kill Moore. The supposed hitman was a man named William Mansfield, who had a criminal record. But the case against them was flimsy, built on a jailhouse informant's testimony. Both were acquitted at trial. The case grew cold. Over the decades, dozens of people confessed to the murders, but none of their stories matched the evidence. One of the most bizarre twists came in 1917, when a man named Frank F. Jones, not the senator, was lynched by a mob in another town because he was mistakenly believed to be the Villisca killer. The real killer was never found. The Villisca house still stands. Today, it's a museum and a destination for paranormal investigators. Many visitors report strange sounds, moving objects, and a chilling presence. Some believe the killer's spirit remains trapped inside. Others think the victims' restless souls still seek justice. But the facts remain. On a quiet summer night in 1912, someone entered the Moore home with an axe and murdered 8 people in their sleep. No clear motive. No confession. No conviction. Was it a disgruntled business rival? A traveling preacher with a dark secret? A stranger passing through town? Or something even more sinister? Over 100 years later, the Villisca Axe Murders remain one of America's greatest unsolved crimes. The Villisca Axe Murders teach us something about the limits of justice. Despite dozens of suspects, hundreds of tips, and modern forensic attempts, the truth has never been uncovered. Every year, the case is re-examined, but answers remain elusive. Perhaps one day, a new clue will emerge. Until then, the Moore family and the Stillinger. Sisters rest in an unmarked grave, their killer's identity still locked in history's vault. Thank you for watching Night Justice Vault. If you enjoyed this deep dive into true crime history, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to join us as we unlock more dark cases from the past. I'm Onker. Stay curious. Stay safe.